Dwyane Wade signed a one-year deal with the Cavs, and already he's talking about how he would like to retire in a Heat jersey, which says one thing to me. He is preparing for LeBron to only be with the Cavs for 1 year, and he's already got his mind on what's going to happen when that's done. You agree?
No, I'm not sure.
Why?
I think Dwyane Wade's going to hang it up. I think he's going to play and then retire.
That doesn't disagree with what I said.
You don't think he's going to play this year?
No, I think he will play this year. But as soon as the year's over, he's already thinking, okay, LeBron's not going to be here. So I'm thinking about what's going to happen with me, and that's retire with the Heat. It doesn't mean he has to play next year.
Yeah, he play a game. Yeah.
You play a game or do what Paul Pierce did with the Celtics, and you sign a one-day deal.
Yeah, that's probably what will happen. I mean, I think the only reason he's playing is because he wants to play with LeBron one more year.
No, I think he probably wanted to play one more year. Plus, he's getting paid from the Bulls in part of the buyout. So he wants to play. But there is, and Jason McIntyre brought up a great point, that there are all these guys on one-year deals. What happens if LeBron gets upset or does the subliminal tweets? And you know what happens when he does? He kind of gives up. So what if that happens? You got a bunch of guys who went there for 1 year.
I don't like the hypothetical game myself. I just don't think that's
We literally do the entire show based on a lot of hypotheticals. So the NBA passing new rules to prevent tanking. Teams are still going to tank as long as there's an incentive or a better percentage to get. But tanking isn't good. I think you and I disagree on this. You think, well, whatever, let teams tank.
I'd rather have the bad teams get the good players, yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't think that there's anything good about teams tanking. There's not. Like Philadelphia fans, they're starting to lose. They're not going to games anymore. That you're hurting your business infrastructure. No one wants to work there. Team morale is bad. No one wants to actually play there. Then guys are just going to leave. It's not good. And wouldn't you rather have more competitive teams?
I don't think the NBA has ever been driven by its bottom teams. I mean, let's be honest. There's 7 to 8 really fascinating teams this year. That's all ESPN and TNT has to put on the air. There's no requirement to put the Sixers on.
But as long as teams are still tanking and there's such a big divide between the top and the bottom, what's the point of even having the bottom?
For games scheduled, for commerce.
But the commerce is a lot lower when it's going to be a blowout.
Well,
or that the big stars are going to use it as an opportunity to rest.
My whole life, even during Jordan's years when the league was on fire, there's always been 7 garbage teams because there's worse owners and worse GMs. And it's like college football. It's this, there's 9 teams every year that have a chance to win the title, 20 more that are compelling, and then there's like 80 of them that are garbage. I think sports is not the perfection business. There's always a top, there's always a bottom. I mean, poverty is being eradicated in the world, but there'll always be hunger and there'll always be that. I mean, I just don't think you can eradicate the bottom 8, the bottom 12 of anything. I just think there'll always be. We've done a great job in the globe to eradicate hunger and poverty, and we've done an amazing job over the last decade. But and again, that's not. I probably shouldn't. That's not analogous to sports. But my whole life I've watched sports. The bottom of the NBA, the bottom 30%'s been junk my whole life. My whole life.
I think you want to try to make things as competitive as possible, and when you make tanking advantageous, that's not good for the league.
I guess.
And the ex-GM Sam Hinkie is good friends with Daryl Morey, who actually tweeted something out, and I believe this to be sarcastic.
Yeah.
Tanking is solved. My personal opinion is that both of them are joking, and that tanking is not actually solved.
Of course.
They both know the way that tanking could be solved, and that actually is out there. It's just that the league isn't ready to go that far yet.
I guess what the NBA is saying is we can't solve it. We're going to do everything we can to eradicate it.
No, you can solve it. They can solve it. There's
How?
a system. I told you it's that wheel thing.
That wheel thing.
I'm telling you.
In the history of the world, is anything called that wheel thing solved a problem?
It solves tanking, but it doesn't solve that if you're really bad just naturally, you might not get a top pick for years.
Great.
So you will just stay bad.
That's awful.
But it does solve the teams trying to lose.
Which I think sometimes we're just trying to solve everything, and not everything is. I don't know. I mean, I guess you just do the best. I guess as a league, as a society, you just do the best you can at solving stuff.
That's true. And finally, J.R. Smith and Dwyane Wade will now be competing for minutes and possibly a starting spot now that they both are shooting guards for the Cavs. Here's J.R. Smith and his take on how that's going to go down.
I mean, I'm not really going to focus on if I'm starter, if I'm not, I'm still going to be able to play. And, if coach needs me to start, I'll start. If he needs me to come off the bench, I'll come off the bench. I'm not going to sit here and get into a blanket measuring contest with Dwyane Wade. I'm not going to win that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to work hard with my team, and however they choose to do it, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see this as a potential place for disharmony with the Cavs. Things might not be all rainbows and butterflies.
They never are. It's alpha males. There's always
I
whining.
think this could be something to look out for. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.